Hey guys, welcome back to a balmy winter's day here in England. South Africa just beat Wales at the rugby. It was a crap game, but it means we're in the finals. So let's brew some beer. Today I am brewing the Undead Pale Ale, which is very similar to James Morton's recipe from his book. So there's 5 different types of grain. Got some melanoidin, base malt, other bits. I'll put the recipe up. I'm going to do something slightly different today, so very little regard for brewing process. I'm using hot water out the hot water tap, just straight. It came out at 58 or 59 degrees Celsius. I'm just heating that up to 66. I'm also not going to chill. I'm just going to close the kettle. Well, I'm actually going to pour 2 5-litre jugs of iced water in the kettle to try and get a cold break and to stop hop oil utilization. So what this recipe calls for is a first wort hops, which I will do, 14 grams, and then it's a 10-minute, 5-minute, and then a steep. And I'm going to just lump all of those together at flame out, give it 10 minutes to steep, and then I'm going to chuck the cold water and remove the hops. Then there's some dry hops, etc. So what I've done is I've done 22 litres of water and plus the 10 litres of cold water that I'll chuck in at the end. It's a real bit of an experiment this. I'm just trying to figure out a way to avoid the chill, the cooling part of the brewing, especially now that it's winter. So once it's in the kettle, once it's cool, I'm likely going to take off the jacket and just let the cold air cool it down. If it works, and if I get a cold break from those 2 5-litre store-bought water bottles, then I might do that in the future. I mean, I haven't had a problem getting clear beer using this method without the cold water, but I just thought it'll rush along the process of cooling, so I can pitch the yeast tonight rather than wait overnight and pitch it tomorrow. So come along for the ride. Okay, so you guys are probably familiar with my way of underletting. I'll just show you, got all the grain in, 4 different types of grain. Water's ready. I'm just going to pick that up, put it in nice and slowly. And I've got the big boy out today, the big mash paddle, because I just find it easier when you're underletting to use the bad boy. And if no one knows where to get them, there's a gentleman by the name of Paul Taylor makes them. He'll make them and ship them to your door. So it's worth looking him up on Facebook. He's on the BrewTube official Facebook page. I'll link to that in the description. Just starting a really slow recirculation, so while I'm mixing everything up, I'm getting the temperature corrected throughout the grain bed. And now I'm going to start the mash on 66 degrees. Just to let you see my settings. So I'm doing a 500 watts, 65.8 degrees, 60 minutes. And that's a manual setting. I don't really use the auto settings anymore because I know when to do the hop drops. I mean, that's the only time it's useful is when it alarms to tell you to do the hop drop, but I know when to do a hop drop, so don't really need it. Okay, so we're 15 minutes into the mash. I have checked the pH. We're just a little bit high. I'm just going to leave it. This is one of those brews that I want to just see how it turns out. Using hot tap water and all that. Given it a nice stir, I've started the recirculation now. I did a bit of recirculating, stopped, let it rest. Now I'm just going to leave it recirculating for the next 45 minutes. Okay, that's the mash finished. I am going to pull out the malt pipe, just chuck a couple of litres of hot water straight from the tap through just to rinse, and hit the boil. give you an idea again of the settings, I'm going for a 30-minute boil, 2000 watts at boil temperature. So the only reason I'm doing a 30-minute boil is because I don't really have any hop additions I need to add apart from the first wet hops, which I'll do now. So let's do it. Just a slight adjustment to the actual recipe because I'm changing the boil time. I'm doing a 20 gram hop drop instead of 14 at the first wort hops. The reason for that is I'm going to get less bitterness out of this, and then everything else is going in at the flame out, and which I'll leave to steep for about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, just to give you an idea of the volume, I am at round about, that's the 20 litre mark there. So probably 19 litres once it's all cooled down, because it's quite hot at the moment, so it expands. Probably going to lose a couple of litres to the boil because it's a half-hour boil, so we're looking at about 17, 16 litres. Then I'll put 10 litres back in, so it'll be 26, maybe 25 litres. Okay, I've had to turn the boil down. It was far too vigorous, so I've turned the wattage down to 1400 because it's only 20 litres. I don't want to boil off too much. See how we get on. It's only been boiling for 5 minutes, but it was super vigorous at 2000 watts. So down to 1400. Let's keep going. 15 minutes left. Flock tablet. So there's 2 minutes left on the boil. So I'm going to get these hops in. It's 30 grams and 14 grams of citra. And by the time they're in, I'm guessing the alarm will have sounded, flame out will have occurred, and then I'll start the timer for 20 minutes. I'll leave it soaking for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to chuck 10 litres of ice cold water in, whirlpool, put the lid on, and let it cool down. Also, I'm pitching Kveik yeast at probably 40 degrees Celsius, so it's not going to have to cool down too far before its pitching temperature. Just very quickly, one last thing that I'm doing, I've attached the pipe. This is how I'm going to transfer it to the fermenter, and I'm going from the pipe into the hop bag to recirc and to basically sanitize the pipe itself. I'll do that for a couple of minutes. I don't want to overdo it with this pump. It's not really rated to work at this temperature. And then I'm just going to seal it all up. Okay, the 20-minute steep is finished. We're sitting at 78.9 degrees. So hop utilization stops around there. I've got the 2 bottles. I actually expected, I had these in the freezer in one of my fridges in the garage. I expected this to be almost frozen. It is cold, but it's not frozen. So this will probably get me down to about 60. And then from there, just let it cool down naturally. Pouring it down the edge of the kettle. I'll just show you with my estimates and all of that. I think I said 25 litres, and we are, that's pretty much the 25 litre mark there. So we may be at 26, but I'm going to lose some to all the crap that gets left in the kettle. So now I'm going to do a whirlpool, and then I'm just going to seal it up. And what are we at now? Oh, we're down to 50 already. Fantastic. So I'm just going to seal it up. Give it whatever it takes, half an hour or 40 minutes or an hour, however long it takes. Okay, so I'm nearly ready to transfer into the fermenter. You can see I've taken the jacket off the brew kettle. It's still nice and shiny underneath. I haven't seen under there since I bought it. It's at 46.1. I've checked the 2 yeasts that I have. I have the Kveik and the Hornidal Kveik. I'm going to go with the Hornidal, which has got like a caramel note to it and has like a caramel note to it and a citrus note. So the citrus I think will be of benefit to Citra ale. So I'm going to give it another 3 or 4 degrees, and then I'm going to transfer from a height. Hopefully I'll get below 40. You'll see here I've got it in the fermenter. It's at just under 40 degrees Celsius. This is, I think the guy's name is Thomas. He's on the BrewTube official group on Facebook. So this is his Hornidal Kveik. The way he does it is it's enough for an underpitch, which he recommends, and he's got some yeast nutrient in here already, so I didn't need to put any yeast nutrient in. And I've left this undone because it's hard to undo it after closing everything up. The reason why I'm leaving that like that is because in 40 hours from now I need to top crop that yeast to reuse. So that's the brew day, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll put a link up in the corner here for the tasting when it happens, but I'll put the brew day up. Tasting will come after. That's my new format. Take it easy. See you on the next one.